Hi, this is episode 669 for No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I do a variety of different forms of coaching, including executive job search coaching, leadership coaching, and what might be generically called life coaching. I'm the head coach for JobSearch.Community and NoBSCoachingAdvice.com. And welcome to today's show. People need to have goals when they go into an interview, just like you do in the rest of your life. And on this show, I try to talk with you about some of the goals you should be setting for yourself in the course of your interview. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but ostensibly, what are you trying to accomplish? Hope you find the show helpful, and let's get going. When you interview, whether it's a first or 14th interview, you get to number 14, you can tell the employer has trouble making a decision. They'll talk about consensus, but they can't make a decision. But that's a different video. I'll get to that another time. So when you're interviewing for a position, whether the first or 14th interview, there's one basic goal that you have, and that is to demonstrate you're fit for what they're looking for and how you can deliver what they want from you. But you need to extract information from them too. And you need to take some time in advance preparing questions other than tell me about the job, okay? You can't go into so much depth as you're going to make them feel like they're going through an inquisition. But there are some things that you can ask along the way that's going to probe a little bit, and it's not designed to create an impression. So, for example, if you understand my philosophy of interviewing, I have what I call the single best question you should ask on any interview that you ask before the interview starts. And I've got a video about that. Hang out with Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, the single best question to ask on any interview. So that's on YouTube. Pull it down, watch that video. Give it a thumbs up, by the way, and watch that. And I have another one because since that's answering a question about the job, you can't ask about the job later on. So I have another video talking about the questions to replace at the end. But I want you to go a little bit further. What's your background? What brought you here? What was your experience before coming on board? What's the success look like to you from me? Now, that's a variation on the two previous questions I would have asked beforehand. I just don't remember the name of the video, so I apologize. But I cover some of those questions to ask. You want to have a good list, just 3 or 4 questions to cover points, and none of them should be about benefits. They'll cover benefits at the time that you get the offer. So at that point, you can ask them about their insurance coverage. We've got insurance. And understand all insurance these days has to meet the minimum requirements of the Affordable Care Act. So it's not a big complicated thing. On benefits, what you really care about is the ancillaries, like whether they pay a bonus, whether they have a 401k, what the matches are, things along those lines. They can differ from firm to firm. But ultimately, your game plan at the time of this interview is to create a great impression, leave them with the ideas about you that are consistent with what your objectives are. And just to be clear, when you go into that interview, you're thinking about what message do I want to communicate to them about myself that's going to allow them to know that I'm qualified for this role and I'd be a great fit. And conversely, you have to extract certain things from them that are going to allow them to know that you're evaluating them too, and your questions have to be reasonable. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you do, I want to encourage you, come join me at JobSearch.Community. That's my site with curated information from around the web that I've developed in podcast, video, articles. All my books and guides to job hunting appear on the site, all for one price. And I also want to encourage you, give the show 5 stars in iTunes, please. I have a link in the show notes. It's going to help other people discover the show and help them anymore. So I'll be back tomorrow with more. In the meantime, have a great day. Take care.